CogNative Studio is, what it's for, and how it can be used. It is built for agents, AI agents, to be better able to build additional AI agents, as well as build applications. In traditional architecture, like which we're looking at right now, you have your file system, and all of this works great for humans. It's efficient, it's effective. There's a lot of different layers to it, so it's really complicated. Um, it can be really complicated for AI, and that's where AI runs into a lot of issues when it's trying to build applications for people and can't really get through the entire thing. They can get through part of it, but it breaks halfway, and then they get confused, and then they don't know what they're doing, and they usually just screw it all up. So what this is meant to do is to solve those problems. Um, just for a quick, we won't get too deep into all this, but what a application looks like. Traditional applications, you want to keep everything separate and isolated from each other. That's good practice, so it's easier to debug and to just build it in pieces. But what happens is, say for this, you end up having a lot of different files for one thing that all do different stuff, with a lot of exports and import statements. So you're importing this file with that file and then this file to get them all to work together. That's great, but that's the whole problem with AI is you have to find this one in order to trace how any of this works. It has to read this file in full, see what its imports and export statements are, track that one down to read that, then go into the next one to read that. And by the time it does all that, it's confused and it doesn't know what it's doing. So enter in CogNative Studio, which is different. This is it. This is the list of projects here on the side. We can collapse that. So look, this is our agent chat. This is the AI that's actually building the applications. And this is all of our data stuff here on the bottom. But what this is a graph database, and everything here is held, instead of files, are in separate individual nodes. Um, there can be looked at similarly to files, except for each one is entirely self-contained. You click on it, and it shows you exactly what it's connected to. It's connected to that and that directly. You can see its entire data flow through the whole process of what it does. That one just doesn't have any extra effects than what it does there. You don't have to worry about the import statements, the export statements, all the different code that connects everything together. The glue code is what they call it. And if you eliminate the glue code, you can eliminate, depending on the application, 50%, even more of the total code that's even required. So if we're going to build something, AI looks at what it needs to build. We have this set up specially with different types of components. There's 3 for the front end, which is user interfaces. There's 3 for the back end, which is actually like the logic and the code that makes things run. And then there's ports that connect it all together. That's what all this is right here. You can look at one. That one looks pretty intense. Sometimes these wires are a little extra from what they really are, but you click it, it shows you the flow of everything that it does, and what it affects. So it's easy to trace. You don't have to write in all that filler code. You're literally just making a relationship, which is what these lines are, to hook them all together. And so you reduce 50% of your code, probably at least, make everything far less complicated for the AI. And it allows it to build, even though this looks really complicated, it's far more simple than anything could ever be with that. And AI doesn't have to actually read what's inside of these. It doesn't have to know what's inside of the code here. It just needs to know, well, this is for an agent chat. Anything that has to do with agent chat, it can just work through and connect to it. All the code is hidden behind for a coding agent to deal with. So that alone reduces its complexity, so it can put together different types of applications just by arranging different components. So for this one, for example, if we click launch right here, that'll launch into a demonstration, which is a lot of the front end components. These are just different pieces that AI can customize for any application, to be able to make the user interface look good. I need to work, make this look good, but you can see the sides here. We can do a marketing arrow, the stuff you see when you pull up a website. It built that. A split screen form. It built that. Um, where's something that kind of looks cool? Pricing. All the things that people like built into their applications and into their websites. Product showcase if you wanted to sell stuff online. That does that. You're trying to just display different things. Forks, yeah. So this is all stuff that's built into the app. The AI can reuse in different ways. So if I close this and then go into a different project, then we go into this one right here. Concept. This is a for local coffee shop. It's just a demo, so it's not for a real one. But say we want a front ordering kiosk so customers can walk up to it, place their orders. We need a point of sale system for the employees and that can actually read the orders and take payments for the orders, and then a accounting piece of software. Normally, what you'd have to do is have three different applications, all of them wired together, all complex networking, complex authentication. Make sure that everything connects to each other and works, and then a whole different story for setting up the database that holds the orders and things like that. This actually is a database. It's a graph database. So the applications themselves are actually built where the data lives. They don't have to talk to each other because the three parts would normally be three different applications are now just three different views. Um, so they're all built into the same place. So there's no networking or connecting them. They're just already there. They live together. They're the same thing. So let's launch this. This is built from the components that I showed you. You can launch that. I'm still working on the accounting part of it. So you won't get to see that. But this is the fake coffee shop with a fake ordering kiosk. Customers can go through and order their coffee with this. You can sort through your hot drinks. That was all. You can do your ice drinks if you want something like a cold brew. You can get your specialty if you want to be fancy and pay a little extra. But let's say we want to build a, well, I actually would love cold brew. Large sounds great. Whole milk, vanilla, of course. Add to order. And then that pops up in your cart. Let's add another one. So this would be something that somebody could use literally like as an iPad or a separate kiosk for ordering outside of the register. Customers are just doing this, looking at visuals of what the coffee is. They can customize it. They can place their order. And bam, there's your order number. Kiosk, there's a K. I can start a new one. And what that does is create a, oops, I'm going to move back. Here is a node. It creates a node, which is an order right there. While that one created that, you can switch over to the point of sale system. And I don't have that order linked in, so I won't see that right now. But it will automatically read these. So you can see instantly when a kiosk places it, it instantly places in the point of sale system, which are able to sort through those, click on them, fulfill them, click and make their own orders if they want to. If a customer wants to talk to a real person, it's the same process. And the cool thing is even with once the accounting view is done, which is incredibly simple, it can be done in a day. It reads those exact same nodes. So whether it goes from the kiosk to the point of sale system to accounting system, the app itself is right here. The information is all right here. There's no code to connect all of it because it all just exists in one place with nothing but relationships to connect them. That's why you didn't see the order because they're not relationshiped up right now, but that's an easy fix. But anyway, that's the point and that's the purpose of it. Last thing, same thing with agents. Agents are incredibly, ridiculously easy to build. If you want to build your own AI, well, there's the AI right here that builds all the other ones. And what that looks like is a try to probably better make this quick. This is the agent. That's his head, that's his instructions, that's his identity. Cut that off, you basically cut its head off. Those are your models. So depending on whatever you want to wire in, but there's um, Claude models, which are Anthropic. There's K, there's GTP. There's all the different ones in here. You can add as many as you want to. It doesn't really matter. You just add it into the model wheel. It has access to all the different models. There's its tools, so it can do all the different things that you want it to do. It can do that. It can do that. It can do that. You add in whatever ability you want it to do, and it can all of a sudden do it. Those can be pre-stamped inside of the library by going to your wheels and going to your to architect tools, explore tool. If I stamp that into any project that I want to, you instantly have all these tools right here available to any agent that you build, plus you can make your own custom ones. These are its memory containers, so it can store memory based off of different types of conversations that you've had. So a conversation can literally go for a really, 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 really long time without having to worry about burning out context windows or overwhelming it because it's all stored in separate distilled containers. And that just makes that. And all of a sudden you have yourself a little agent to say hello to and do stuff if you want it to do stuff. Um, anyway, that's a project. Work in progress, but it works and it's almost there, which is really freaking awesome. And I'm kind of excited about it. So there it is. Thanks for all help with everything. I appreciate all the support. And yeah, thank you again. Have a good night.